right, so the Abyss, it's a decentralized gaming platform. It functions a lot like Steam, where you can buy games on it, and they want to improve upon the model and reward developers and gamers and make the community really solid and intertwined to help further that. Their catalog, it's not a lot of like console titles as Steam is. They want to focus more on massive multiplayer online games, free to play and independent. And with this, both developers and gamers, they'll receive initial and subsequent token rewards from the referrals they make, which is the pretty much like the main thing they're going for. And so it's an ERC20 token. The ICO doesn't start for a couple of weeks. It starts on the 16th of April and runs until May 16th. And so the team on it was pretty impressive. They definitely know the gaming industry. All of their top members have over 12 years each experience in the gaming industry. And most of their members work for Destiny Games. And it's an online games development company. They had quite a few awards for the games they had made. They mostly focus on the independent and the MMO games. And most of their titles were in Europe and in Russia was a big market for them, which I've never heard of them before. And their Twitter, it was pretty regularly updated, and they had over 15,000 followers, which is a good sign. And they were keeping up, going to events and posting about it. And the main benefits of it, so payments on the platform can be made both fiat and cryptocurrency. But if the customer pays in crypto, they receive a discount, which is one of the main reasons they wanted to make this cryptocurrency based. And another big thing with the referral system, the developers will spend less on advertising, because with the gaming industry, like the best way to get a game advertised is for one gamer to talk to someone else and be like, hey, have you tried out this game? It's pretty good. But with this, they can make money on that. And so the system's kind of complex. The way it works is when someone pays for a game, 70% of what they pay is actually for the game, and 30% it goes into a fund that the developers hold, or the Abyss holds, and then that is used for further referral systems. And so for the developers, the people they get that are new to the platform, if they're the first developer they buy from, they become a first level referral, and they will earn 4% from that person for their initial purchase and then any subsequent purchases they make. And then the people that person refers, they'll make less percent. I believe it's 2% from then on out from them. And the same works with people. So the person they refer directly, they will get 4% from their initial purchases and so on. And then they also make money off any person that person refers, but it'll be less the farther it goes along. There are quite a few challenges I recognize they didn't really address. So their big thing was, because the gaming industry right now is multi-billion, brings in a ton of money, but it seems like they overgeneralized it, because especially what they focus on is a very small part. The MMOs, and especially free-to-play and indie, is a small chunk. Into comparing themselves to Steam, which Steam makes I believe it's over around $10 billion a year on their site. Trying to compare themselves to that, it's a big step. And two, trying to especially get people from that, because I've never really heard anyone have any problems with Steam. Trying to get them to come over to especially a cryptocurrency based system would be really hard. And I definitely think there is an audience for this, but they're overgeneralizing it. And they were talking about getting AAA developers on board, which would be a really big problem, especially initially when you're small, when they already have such a reputation established, and they can work with Steam and other big platforms like that to get their games on. It'd be hard for them to get them on board. One thing they didn't address, but I think it would make a lot of sense for them, would be trying to get streamers on board who do have a lot of followers, and then subsequently they could have them advertise for the Abyss and then get people on that way. They didn't really address that, but I feel like that would be really good, since they're trying to go for word of mouth. And two, they have a really lengthy roadmap, which they don't have their first non-prototype platform until the first quarter of 2019, which is quite a ways off. It's a year after the ICO. So I think that too could lead people astray, just because with this, people who want to invest, they want to invest because they want the platform, but they have to wait over a year after the token sale to get it up and running. And even then, they don't know how big it'll be. That could be a pretty big challenge. So overall, my verdict on it, I think it does have all the potential to be a success. It's hard. I wouldn't buy in right now or even at the initial token sale, just because a lot depends on how they run it after and how many people they can get in and everything. But I think if they can be successful in that, they can definitely have a big audience. Any questions?
What is a AAA developer?
That's like a big name developer, like that'd be like the people who make like Call of Duty or any like
Gotcha.
big name franchises like Activision.
Gotcha.
So are they gonna make their own games, or is it just like a platform for any developer to?
Any developer can come on, but they do. I don't think the Abyss directly will make any, but they'd make them under Destiny Games.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Mm-hmm. So what's the deal with intellectual property here? Like, let's say I'm an indie developer. I put my game on the Abyss. Can I go sell it on Steam as well?
They didn't really get into that as much. I wouldn't see really any problem with that.
Right. I just didn't know if they were trying to, because I mean, it's kind of a double-edged sword. If you restrict IP to only be on the platform, then less people are going to want to use the platform. But if you don't, then your average user will have no reason to leave Steam, you know?
Yeah, that was one of the biggest problems
I saw. Sold on both. Exactly. Interesting. Could you explain the 30/70 breakdown? If I heard you correctly, like upon sale, the Abyss keeps 30%. Is that right?
Yeah. So that 30%, they don't actually like keep it themselves. That goes into like a pool for the referral system later on that people get rewarded for.
So, but then is the developer just out 30%? You know, because that money has to come from somewhere, and like as a consumer, I don't want to pay 30% more, and as a developer, I don't want to get 30% less.
Right. So I believe the way they said it, like the 70% itself was just like for the game itself, and then there's like 30% on top.
So would they have like a token pool that they pre-allocated to take that 30% from, or is that like leverage pre-mine token?
I'm pretty sure let me check real quick. I'll pull it up, but I'm pretty sure it was.
Yeah, I was also wondering how long the referral goes to. Like, like how many purchases does that next person that you invite?
It said it goes forever, which was pretty interesting. So it just like keep going and going, but you would only make like the most off people you directly refer.
That makes sense.
So, yeah, but still, because that's why, and that's another reason why the pool that was like 30% makes sense if you look at how they were doing it. Just because like you make money off all the people you refer as well. So if you had like a lot of people on, it would make sense that.
Yeah, because you could have a long chain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then people also get rewarded for the content they make on here too, which they didn't really go into much depth, but like there's like certain like achievements you can get and stuff like that. They get rewarded for. It's more just things they mentioned. They didn't really explain that in depth yet.
Gotcha.
Trying to look up where that 70% was at.
So it's not a buy, Jared?
Not right now. Steam's just so big, it's hard to like compete with something like that, especially with a cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
Right.
Because a lot of people are still on the edge on crypto.
Yeah, you would. I mean, like the only way I could see it getting any adoption is like the Destiny developers make a game that's only sold on their platform. You know, kind of like what Jay-Z is doing with Tidal or something of that nature.